Greetings to you, my friends, one and all, wherever you may be viewing from. And thank you for joining me on what is our 164th gold pay dirt review. That's 164. That sounds crazy, but that's what we're doing here on Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and although technically this probably would not be considered a pay dirt review per se, because it is some material that I got in as a birthday gift from S4ep. He had actually won it from Brian at Indiana Creek, and but since I've never done anything from Brian, we're going to count this as it's a golden gem bag. So we're going to give it a pay dirt review episode. And like I said, it had come in, and we'll a little bit of story to it. So we'll get into that as we turn to the new gold epicenter of South Louisiana, which is looking rather tattered these days. And we brought it. I already had it over at the repair station. I might as well get it back over here to get one more video out of it instead of trying to film somewhere else, since I didn't have it dismantled yet. But yeah, there we go. And there is our nice shiny bag. And like I said, S4ep had won this, and I got it in, I guess it was a month or so ago, but it's from Indiana Creek, LOTO bag, golden gems. And you can see there's actually some stuff in there as well. So, and it came with a little note here. It said, happy birthday from S4ep. Package was returned and damaged, so hopefully it makes it this round. Sorry for delay, Brian. ICG. So there you go. It did finally make it in intact in one piece, and we've got it here. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. And thank you again so much, S4ep. That's very, very thoughtful of you, as he so often is. Oh, that's a like a cameo made with the wiring on a, I forget what they call that whenever you've got the slab they cut like that. Looks like is that a tiger's eye, I believe, or maybe a red jasper. Check that out. Very nice. And it looks like that's a copper wiring. Yeah, copper. Here, there we go. And the nice wrap. Very cool. All right. So that's a nice little inclusion to start off with. Let's get our looks like some creek stream bed material there. Looks like I'm seeing some shiny, quite a bit of shiny garnets in there, little flat garnets. Very nice. Seeing some colored chips there. So we'll get those out with our material. They tend to hold, the garnets tend to hold pretty good up with your gold when you're panning it out. Looks like I see some rust flakes in there maybe. But yeah, we've got some flats and some elongated. But yeah, they're the polished garnets. Ooh, I think, is that a piece of, oh, I thought that was a piece of gold. It looked like it from one side. So there you go. There's some of the little garnets there that are in there. Very nice. Let's go ahead and we'll put this bigger stuff in here. I see some peridot. There's a little piece of peridot. So our little chunk there. So let's get some water set up here, and I'll be right back. Well, there we go. We are set up. We have our jet dry in the water. We'll go ahead and start with the bigger stuff here. Got my tweezers handy in case I need to be picking out some stuff. It's like it's very, very clean, rocky material here. Not a lot of dirt clinging to this, as you'd expect from the creek. Yeah, see how those garnets are staying down there at the bottom of the pan. Any position here. So that, yeah, when you get down to the very end, you can pick them out then. So how many people are watching the shit show that's the I don't know what you call it, the Nazi Islam terrorist love fest? They're calling the DNC convention. That is just insane. Stuck Biden in the final humiliation, telling him how great he is as they stick him in the last table next to the fucking bathrooms midnight to put him on stage to not embarrass him any more than it already has. And then on the Tuesday night, Kamala Camel Toe's not even there. She's doing her own rally in another whole city from her convention, which I don't know what the hell that's supposed to be. Like, hiding her, I guess, any way they can. But so yeah, so they brought in of course the first our first Nazi Islam closeted gay homosexual president, Barack Hussein Obama. And then they had Big Mike all taped up and tucked and taped, and he's up there telling you how horrible the country is, and everything they're saying about how terrible everything is. It's like these people are so retarded. The last 12 of the last 16 years has been controlled by these morons. Except for the 4 years of Trump when it was actually good. When has it not? When was it good? and everything she says, I'm gonna from day one. You're like, bitch, you're in there now. You haven't done anything in 3 years. They're denying that she was never the czar. Like it was some kind of official title that they had. No, that's same thing when they had the drug czar. That's what they called the guy in charge of taking care of the drug war. She was in charge of taking care of the border czar. And the fact is, she did absolutely nothing and is incompetent. And that's been the highlight of her career, is to do nothing. And like I said, she's always profited by being on her knees, not by using her mouth, not her brain. And it's even now they've got a 90-year-old Willie Brown coming out of the nursing home, saying how when he was having the affair with her when she was 29 and he was 60, and that she was the one that he introduced her friends, and so basically he's busting themselves, saying she has always been DEI. And that was the thing that really was bad for them that at the time that his constituents were so pissed off because those were the sweet, you know, multi-$100,000 a year jobs that they would give their constituents, the greasing the palms of these people that would vote for him or, get him into power. And he's giving them away to his whore. And so that pissed off had a lot of people against him because, here he's got her on his arm and, jerking him off under the table at dinners, and meanwhile, they're not getting those sweet plums, and again, he already had it. He was getting her used from Montel, and Montel, she was his like second or third down the line. She was a pass around then, so it's just so pathetic. But if you'll notice, they have made her. She almost does this gasping sound all the time when she cuts herself off from the cackle. They've told her you can't keep cackling like that. You got to stop that. But make no doubt about this that if you thought Joe Biden was the puppet of these people, Joe Biden was the ringleader compared to, I mean, she's nothing more than sitting there in a chair and they're telling her, you do this, you say that, you go here, you go there. She has zero, 100% zero input on anything that they are doing. She is nothing more than, a hand up her ass working her mouth puppet, at the extreme. So, but again, just to hear them talking about how horrible everything is, it's like, yeah, your policies, y'all have done this in less than 4 years. You've destroyed the country and, and you've turned it into a decadent, bastardized version of what it has always been. You've got Muslim, Nazi, Islam terrorists, tearing down the gates to get in their own. These aren't MAGA people. These are their own creations. Why do we not have FBI out there? You got to remember, these are the people that strap bombs to themselves and blow themselves up. I take that seriously if you've got hundreds of thousands of them collecting around your, that's just, and if they actively are supporting, it's just hatred of Jews, and they're just using this as an open forum to be able to freely, say what before they had to, they could only chant in their little mosques and, but yeah, don't fall for this Muslim bullshit line of, oh, these are the extremist Muslims. You hear no Muslims speaking out against any of the Hamas. If you're a Muslim, if you do not denounce your pedophile leader, prophet, conman Muhammad, you're a terrorist, fucker. You are part of the terrorist organization, a murder cult, and that's just my straight up call on it. I've only been watching this shit for 60 years, watching the 1972 Olympics when these same living scum trash, murdered innocent Israeli athletes, sixth grader, watch the Olympics, and the same subhuman trash is over there right now, still holding hostages, demanding, and Israel's already bowed down and said they'd accept the peace agreement, the ceasefire thing. And of course, Hamas isn't going to. And the only reason is Israel, I'm sure, agreed to is just because they knew that there's no way these psychopaths were going to. But yeah, I mean, they need to blow Gaza off the map, and then they need to wipe out what they call the Palestinian territory in Israel, and I say just eradicate this vermin once and for all. It's absurd. It's obscene that they're still around after all these years, and you've got 100,000 of them in the streets of America, chanting "Death to America" and hating Jews. That's and it's acceptable. There's no outcry from the media. They're not covering these people for the demons and just demon terrorist scum, murdering scum that they are. But that was great. The first thing they asked, Trump showed up in whatever that little town was he was in Pennsylvania yesterday, and the reporter's like, this is, do you have any comment for, for doing a appearing here because he was speaking for the police department, law enforcement. I said, do you have a any comment for speaking in a town that's the is whatever known for the home of the Ku Klux Klan, or the largest thing, whatever, something to do with the Ku Klux Klan. And he's going, he goes, who was here in 2021? And somebody said Joe Biden. And then he just turned and walked away. And so, just shut this piece of shit reporter down, because that's all they do is try to play that kind of bullshit, race baiting, just brain dead, Trump hating trash all the time. And just to see him stomp them down like that, this is always so awesome. Just like seeing them eat their own, watching these terrorists tear down there's another shithole city. No better place to do it than Chicago. So we're doing the over and under for 100 shot and 50 killed for the week of the convention. I'm saying over. It'll heat up here at the end, but again, as I said, it's just obscene that this is going on in the streets of the United States. And like I said, they should be out there getting the names, numbers, IDs off of every one of these terrorists supporting domestic, Nazi Islam scumbag pieces of shit that are in the street, tearing down they went after the J6 people relentlessly, but all these if you're a Nazi Islam scumbag, you're all free. You can do whatever you want to. That trannies and BLM. And then in just an awesome show today, Trump was at his rally, and they've got the first time he was outdoors with the shielding, the bulletproof shielding, and somebody in the crowd collapsed in the heat, and what does he do? He walks down off the podium and walks over to where they were passed out right there on the edge of like the walkway coming in off the runway or there. But yeah, that was just a straight up finger to the establishment saying, yeah, I'll stand behind this thing up here talking, but fuck you if you think I'm gonna hide back here like a Democrat terror, like your scumbag terrorist cowards that hide in the shadows and blow up women and children and innocents. We our men are real men. And that was his finger to him saying, fuck y'all, look at me, I'm outside the shield. Meanwhile, Joe Biden is tucked away in his basement, and now they're saying, the things that Kamala's drunk all the time because they're showing all these clips of her talking and the way she slows down her words and the way, and then her cackling, just her, just the relentless, But yeah, it has been. I watched a few clips of it. I couldn't watch any of the she-males, and by that I mean the Obamas, the queers and she-males talking about how great they were and how horrible everything is, and but yeah, the fact they stuck Biden at the end after a bunch of nobodies got to talk in front of him. It's if he wasn't such just a criminal piece of shit that's has the blood of so many Americans on his hands, you'd almost feel a little sorry for his ass. But he deserves all the humiliation, and like I said, it'll be they're we love you. There's signs up, we love you, Joe, and they had the arrangement made, I guess, with Jill, because they all had signs up with Jill's name on them too, of how they loved Jill and let her talk first, and then put Biden, like 3 hours behind her. Like, yeah, just the ultimate insults that are just appointed. She's never gotten a single vote from a Democrat voter. She didn't even get 1% when she ran in 2020. She dropped out before they ever made it to the first primaries because she was so unlikable, and was known as the most extreme, progressive libtard senator, even more so than Barry what's his name, Sanders, the old fuck that's given sucked up to him. But But yeah, they're but yeah, just watch that and see. You will not hear her cackling because they told her, man, that's, you know, that's killing us. This stupid, you know, brain dead cackle that you do nonstop all the time. And even tried to make up some story about, oh, we're from a family of women who big laughs, sitting around the table talking and laughing. And, yeah, but you mean alcoholics? Sounds like you're describing alcoholics. And then they start talking about this thing about her either being in that whole stoner mentality that you know, she's either doing the edibles or you know, because half the time she does seem like she would be stoned because, you know, just the rambling dumbassery that comes out of her mouth. But yeah, I just mostly watch the replays or the you know, the guys that do synopsis on them and shit, and then the reactions to them are the really entertaining part of all this. But it's funny, you look at those crowds and they look like what you'd expect from these, you know, just dredges of society that go to the trouble of showing up there, you know, effeminate men with these little wispy beards and mustaches and just, you know, bunch of fat blue Kool-Aid haired women and just, you know, there was one that was screeching last night. I don't know what the fuck she was. Some giant behemoth with this just it sounded like you know, like three different cats screeching at one time into a voice, if you can imagine that. But yeah, that was, I clipped on, heard that for about 3 seconds. It's like, oh my god, okay, moving on. Well, amongst the garnets, we have the gold. Very nice little chunk of gold there. Purdy. Got a nice little character to it. Little ticker, and a little buddy beside him. Both of those are pickers. I can pick them both up easily. Nice little chunks. Let's go ahead and, oh shit, oh, need to have a snuffer. And I keep forgetting to order another snuffer bottle since my third backup one crumbled. Actually, it was the first one I ever got, and it spent most of its time out here. I tried to protect it, you know, keep it out of the sun, but between the heat and the cold just in itself. That's why now I keep them in there on the counter instead of out here. And I've got one that's dedicated still to the Lake Superior gold I've been getting out of the Ron Enders material. And speaking of that, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that here in a minute. So I got something came in from Ron. It's boy's been at it again. Up there with the wizard. Hanging out with the professionals. I got to mention again, now we got a little dirty, got a little more organics now that we got into the fine stuff. Oh, I meant to look with our magnet just to test. Let's look on this one. Okay, well, you can see it pulled. That's what it pulled out of what was left in here. So yeah, we've got a little bit of, I saw a little bit showing through when I did that first roll, and I can see the black sand on the edge showing. But yeah, man, I've had several more people that had contacted me about Big Texas prospecting, and you know, oh, I knew, and know someone else that, you know, so a lot more people. I wasn't aware of really of any of this going on until it was already out. Like I said, I just never, wasn't something I interacted with. But at this point, yeah, I would tell you guys, you know, do not support this channel. Do not, you know, yeah, people go on hard times, but you know, when everyone says, oh, you know, he's made good, we're all back, you know, I understand he made it good, then that's fine if you want to start over and try to earn trust. But again, from what I've heard, that is not the case. There's a little bit of token you know, response to try to, I guess, you know, appease people and keep them from going after him for you know, what could end up being thousands of damn dollars. So yeah, like I said, I don't tell people what to buy on here or who to buy from or who to, you know, but in this case, I would recommend, from what I've been told, like I said, until you hear otherwise from other channels saying, oh yeah, it's, you know, we're all good. You know, he's still got a Patreon up. They said he was starting to do his doing that numbers game crap again. So, you know, just to be aware. So like I said, I've got very, very little tolerance for that kind of shit. Yeah, looks like we're getting down there. That blonde stuff's washing off there pretty quick and easy. I'm gonna tell you guys, I've been dealing with something for the last. It's been done now for, I guess it's been from over a couple weeks ago, since a week ago from, but I was dealing with it for 3 or 4 weeks from the start of this fucking horror show going on in this girl's house. And I'm putting together something for it just because I still don't know the answers. But I'll tell you, man, it's one of the most horrific things I've ever dealt with. And like I said, I've been down here for pushing 20 years now. And Gizmo, hey, come here. And here's this is a little sample of what I was dealing with to start it all off. But again, it was pretty horrific. So yeah, that's going to be coming here. Like I said, I'm trying to put something together that's some kind of cogent tale of what exactly was happening. But I'll give you this, that you do not want to know the horror of the reality of what happens to those missing socks that you think disappear out of your dryer. Because yeah, it's more almost something I should save for a couple of months for Halloween, because I mean it's that level. So, but like I said, here's a little taste. That's a bad choice because it's not. there was a lot more tasting going on, and not in a good way. So yeah, here's a sample. We'll say for fuck not taste.
Shush, sugar.
So yeah, there you go. That is like I said, pretty fucking bizarre. So, but yeah, as you can see, we are down to the black sand here, and it has got we got some gold shining through there. Gizmo, come here. The neighbors are out in the backyard with the kids, about to tear out her 2-year-old stepped through the floor, and there's only one layer of floor, there's no subfloor, so he stepped through the wooden floor straight through to the ground. 2 years old. So yeah, it turns out that there's a couple of open holes in her floor as it is, and then a dozen soft spots. So I'm doing some major floor repair. And if y'all, I'm sure there's a video from about 2 years ago whenever I was doing the repairs on that before she moved in. And I was trying to tell the woman that, I can patch these places, but, in a few years, here we are, a few years, we're going to be, these other spots are going to, it's going to continue. And, what we need to do is cover it, fix it, but, of course, she always trying to get by with the minimum. And, so here I am. And it's, like I said, it's going to cost her more. It's going to, for what she's going to pay me this time compared to what she paid me the first time, I could have redone the floor. So, and I'm still not redoing it. She just wants it, patched and fixed but I'm going to, find all the weak spots, and I'm going to go underneath it and shore it up from underneath and that kind of crap. So always fun. It's been a while since I crawled underneath the house. But there we go. That is some Indiana Creek gold right there, my friends. And nice and shiny little chunky bits. We'll go ahead, and I got in my order yesterday just in time for gold nugget sales. And I'm not supposed to say anything, but I'm pretty sure I got a winning ticket on this one. So I'm pretty confident. I feel good about this one. I got one of those nuggets coming, so I'm excited about that. So I think he said we were. That's when I was asking. I said, "Dude, I know you were at 3,500 from a couple of weeks ago or 10 days ago," and he's like, "Yeah, they've had him coming in pretty steady." So still better odds than you get any kind of lottery stuff or anything else. So for that considering the prize, and again, for it's for something that you would be buying anyway. You'd be getting this material at any rate. So it's just a nice and a very cool bonus. Thank you to have that opportunity. And that's all we really ask, is just for an opportunity, isn't it? And then congratulations to our perennial winner from last week on the live chat giveaway. Package total. As I said, I'm pretty sure at this point that guy's hacked my computer. I think his fourth or fifth win on picking a random number. And literally, he was like the fifth. He was the fifth, if that, fourth or fifth guess. And the first guess he had was 24, which was the random. I did the thing where Google picked a random number. Y'all heard it. I didn't, it doesn't come more random than that. But yeah, and then our second prize went to Scott Sharp. And after his guess, there were no other guesses for 24 all the way down through till I hit the stop button, which it took a few minutes for me to double check and look, or not minutes, but it took enough time for a lot of numbers to come up in between. And so yeah, that was the only two 24s. So, but thank you to everybody that was in the live chat and guessing. I'm going to be doing that, doing another one here. I like doing it on a live stream, but it's just too hard with the jerkiness of the stream, and to trust that I'll be able to see the numbers come up without when they go through so fast, then you're limited to how far you can scroll back. So but yeah, it's always fun doing the live chats. And congratulations to John R. Prospecting winners on his channel as well for his long-awaited 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I think he was talking about this like in May, wasn't he? So he finally got it done. The bags are the winners are chosen. The deed is done. All right, well, there we go. So yeah, I've got a Culver bag to do that I got from Troubled One. Congratulations to him on his giveaways as well for his 200 subscriber. But he sent me that Culver, and then I won on his giveaway on his channel. I actually won on his a bag of pay dirt. So I've got that one to do. And a big thank you to Cody for being in the chat for the miners table video last week. That was again, that was a fun bag of pay dirt to do with some nice gold. I really like that fine gold. It's a good challenge. And I did a follow-up because I just didn't have time. Usually I do go through the tailings before, and as soon as I'm done. And whatever reason, I didn't get through those until after I had the video out and done. So, and it added a little bit to it. So, but we already had our, it was over a gram, and like I said, I was very happy with it. And we had our hard rock sample crushed and some, like I said, our seasoning I'm using on my burgers. I've been liking that stuff too. So, Alaska burgers, I call them when I use that. So, but yeah, I appreciate you being in the live chat with us for sure. You have to watch for them to have some more. And again, that whenever you see that video for that ROI, that great ROI I had, that was for the material, $68, and that included postage. So I take $10 off postage, so that gets the material price down to $58. And at that time, gold was going. They were doing that as a special like promotion. So there was only a limited number of these bags out at this price for the 1 gram guarantee. So, just make sure that was not their standard. You're not going to get 135% ROI on their regular bags of gold normally. so kind of along the same things whenever I do, you guys had seen me do the chicken miners bags. And there'd be the ones that I do. That's why I'd always be real specific, because I'd get him whenever he was out of stock. And for some reason, from whenever I'd started dealing with him the first time, he was very nice to me. And I'd asked him about getting some material from him. He's like, well, I'm out, but for select customers or my longtime customers, something that was very nice term that he used. I'll make up bags. He goes, I'd be willing to put something together for you. I was like, man, well, thank you so much. So, he put me together a bag. That one I had a real nice, like 125% ROI. And then he, when he started to get some more material in, I'd contacted him, and I always did this under my name, not Bayou Gold Guy. So I don't know that he, other than, except being in Louisiana, but whether he knew my channel or not. In the meantime, I mean, I ordered his 1 gram of gold from him, and he sent me, 1.10 gram is what I got in. So it was of just straight gold. And the last bag I bought from him, when I bought on his order, when he had it in stock this year that I did the last time y'all saw, I had 1.11 grams. So, but yeah, when he sent me that 10-pound bag that he does not offer, but I happen to have it in my cart, and I said, well, I've got this still in my cart. Is there any way you could make me up still do the 10-pound bag? And he's like, yeah, I'll do that for you. Dick Hammonds has always been, like I said, a really, really good guy to deal with for me. I appreciate him very much. So, so he put that together for me, and that turned out I had like 130% ROI for what I paid on it. But again, like I said, whenever I got it, that's that was like a special deal he made up for me for some reason. He seemed to like me. I don't know, but but yeah, I always try to let you guys know if there's something that I'm getting that is not, because I order all this stuff out of my name. None of it's ever ordered under Bayou Gold Guy. Of course, like Mike Gold Nugget Sales, he knows who I am, and but he's also not someone that we have to worry about is ever going to pad his bags. And the majority of these people that we deal with, especially repeatedly, are not going to, they're reputable companies, or else we wouldn't be dealing with them. So they're not going to pad their stuff or try to come across as something better than what you would get ordering it yourself. So you know what I mean? So again, and if I thought it was, I would be the first one to tell you guys, hey, same thing with like RJ's. We got that RJ's. We had one bag that was just rocking. It had like 120 something percent ROI on it, on that little quarter-gram bag. And then the next one I got was just, just right at a quarter gram. So you never, like I said, every bag of pay dirt is different. So you can't ever expect anything to be, exactly the same as what you had before most of the times. That's what's nice about Gold Nugget sales, Mike. You can, whenever he gets some stuff in, it's gonna consistently be the same material stuff, gold, until he tells you, hey, I'm out of that. We have this, and like I said, but same thing when you're ordering gym bags, or when you're ordering gyms itself from overseas or what have you. They'll one time you'll get an order into these beautiful large, stones and crystals, and the next time you'll get a bunch. It looks like little baby pebbles. Like, what the hell is this? What are you gonna do? It is what it is. It's natural material, but that's what's nice about gold, though. It can vary, but it's still going to be gold. And we've got some nice flowers, some fine gold in there on this one. That's nice for a little lotto bag. See that up there holding at the top? Yeah, that's some fine stuff. Very nice. And just enough black sand in there to need to get that wash real easy. See, this stuff is fine enough. I think I probably will add this to my miner's table stuff, because that's really the only other stuff I have that left that has that fine of a stuff. So very nice. Well, T-Rep, brother, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Look, you can see it gets pretty fine off to the sides. Those are tiny, tiny specks right there. And this is zoomed in. So yeah, very nice, Brian. Thank you, brother. I'm going to check this out real quick, and then we'll dump it out and look at it. And you can see with that first wash right there, there is that band of fine gold that you just barely run it over and get that band, and then you take it and just lightly try to tap that away. Do that a couple of times. And if there's enough of it like that, see, it gets a little bit of separation where you can just you don't want to use much suction. Hey, Hurricane, this is my boy. What you doing? I never see you anymore over here. He hides out at the neighbor's house. I bring his food over there now. So, but yeah, that's what we're looking for, is that, like that rock right there. Whenever I just roll it back, you can see where it exposes that band of fine gold. Very, very, very fine stuff there. See those little specks all across the top? All right, there's a look at it out here in the sun. I just washed back another pile, and again you can see that is ultra fine, tiny, tiny stuff there in the pan. Shows up pretty good out here in the sun, though. And so we just keep doing that until there's nothing, until no more gold shows up on that leading edge as the water swirls around. And I think we've just about cleaned it out now. Still, you can see a little stray speck flushing out there. So it's that's why I really enjoy the fine gold, because it really makes you work for it if you want to get the flour, the really tiny stuff. And you feel like you've actually accomplished something when you've gotten it out of here. So all right, there we go. We're gonna finish this up and we'll do our snuffer. All right, well, we've got quite a good amount of fine gold that came out of that. There we go. All right, well, yeah, it showed up a lot better out there in the sun. And I went through my tailings. Like I said, there was a pretty good little amount of fine gold still suspended in there. YouTube put in this on the feed for some reason the other day, and I hadn't heard the Partridge Family, I don't know how many years. But man, they were the coolest when I was like in 2nd grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade. Yeah. I was in 5th grade. We lived in Houston, and I went on they had a talent show, and it was just different, acts. It wasn't any competition. It was just, and I was gonna sing to one of my favorite Partridge Family songs off with the album, and they dropped it. They dropped the album before I went on stage to sing, and it was the first song on the album, and it took a big like chunk right out of the edge of the album, so they couldn't play it. And I don't know how I had the balls to do it, but I mean, this was a pretty big school in Houston, elementary, junior high, 5th grade, elementary, I guess, but combination. But yeah, it was an auditorium full of people, and I'm up there singing with no music, Partridge Family, in my burgundy bell bottoms, elephant bells, and yeah. But check that out, man. That is a nice little sampling of gold we got there. Like I said, yeah, that'll go in real nice with my miner's table fine stuff for sure. So, and like I said, those little chunks. But yeah, that was a nice little challenge. That fine gold, man. That stuff is, like I said, you really feel like you've accomplished something when you can recover that stuff out of this material. And having us a little bit of black sand in there. Like I said, that gave it a little bit more of an effort. So looking good. All right, we'll get this dried up, and we'll get a little weight on it. Like I said before, I ended up having a box arrive from my good friend Mr. Ron Anders. He'd been up there with the Flour Gold Wizard, Jason, and he sent me this box. And it says here, "Good day, sir. I keep putting this back on keep this on the back burner, but thought I'd get it out for you, the door for you today. I think I already sent you a picture of where this came from. If you watched Flower Gold Wizard on his video of Nugget Lake, you can see the gold he found. This is the exact same hole the next day as I went down to gather more natural after he vacated the spot. This is exactly as I promised. It is a container of truly unsearched dirt from the same site, so you can have a very real experience and know you were there in spirit. That's awesome. Now I can watch you process it and surmise what it will be like to have done this on your own for a few days. So that's very cool. You're always welcome to find your way to any of the you're always welcome to find your way up to any of the chances I take to find gold. Let me know you're wanting to make a trip, and I can help you with that. Ensure you have a great time. Keep in touch, and heavy pans, Mr. Ron Anders. Thank you so much, brother. Again, it was such a pleasure whenever he came down here. Got to hang out. Not nearly long enough. We only had, basically part of a day and evening together there, and do some grilling and hang out a little bit. But so yeah, but look at there. What's this? Like a fucking can of queer beer he sent us. And you hear it? It's liquid. But this, we'll make an exception with allowing some queer beer in the house now. But oh yeah, look, that is something you can see in there with that. Look at that water splash. And I have never received liquid gold, liquid pay dirt. That is a first, man. That is very cool. It is sealed up with the water, so that is some. I guess that's some Lake Superior water there. Or no, this is off of this is off the creek. This is not in off Superior. This is where they were off the side doing the other recovery. So, like I said, I'll have to look that up. I'm sure I saw the video because I've been seeing those that he was doing with Flower Gold up there with Jason. So I'll definitely look that up, and we'll have that linked whenever we do this. So very cool. Like, that's a first material in water with the natural. I mean, that's the whole package right there. Your waters contained a self-contained panning. You dump out your material, your water all in the pan, and go from there. Awesome, brother. Thank you again. Here we have our dried gold, as we have had for 164 previous times. So very, very cool. I appreciate all you guys that are actually still here after 164. Look what we have here, and there you goes. But beautiful stuff. Very nice looking. And like I said, that was some challenge to get that fine stuff out of there. So let's go ahead and tap it out. Well, there we go. That's looking pretty good there. Our chunks. Our chunks there. We got a few little tiny specks of black left with our gold. But yeah, that's pretty clean. I'd say. Look at that. Look how tiny. Look how tiny some of that gold is that's showing up there on this super zoom in. And our little, they look like nuggets there, don't they now? But awesome. It's beautiful at any size when you got that shine. So, all right, let's turn on our little scale here. It's been being very accurate. So there we go at 0.24. Oh well, I guess get a little better angle on it there. 0.24 grams. And like I said, I did go through my tailings. I did have quite a bit of that fine stuff left in there to find. So it might I may be 2.5 on that other scale if I could actually get like I said, get the. I'm betting it probably weighs exactly 2.5, and I'm just this little scale's not registering the last. Or I might have a few little specks out there left to push it over. I don't know. But like I said, it made for some very nice gold. And a fun panning experience. So thank you again to T-Rep for the belated birthday present. Like I said, you don't have control over the damn mail. I know that we're just glad whenever something finally makes it back in. Alan Curry, that was the longest. Has been that 4 months of waiting for that overseas package to make the trip there and back around, and he still got it. So that was the main thing. He finally got it. The picture of Mr. Minnick's package where it was torn up that he had received in the last one. Got our John R. prospecting fund. Like I said, we're just going to add this to our miner's table. Look at that, Kay. That's from when this had my Clinkies, the little Clinkies leprechaun from I think that was like my 10th or 15th video or something I'd ever done on the channel. I'd gotten a little bag of Clinkies. It was some cool gold too. It was pretty gold. I remember that. But so that's some pretty fine stuff. It joined the ranks of there, so it's got a good home. And then we've got our gems from the gem part of the bag. Now, some nice garnets, some little peridot, nice little bit of gems there to go with our gold. Gator eyes, little baby gators. So, all right. So today I took in 5 of my little little stripes on that little orange guy there. He's right underfoot, of course. I took in the 5 of the older litter, and there's his little twin brother there. They're ready to eat. Everybody's in here. Gizmo, he's grazing a little bit on the cat food, but yeah. So they're up at the Pet Express with Mr. Pat. Look at that little tortie there with her all black sister. But the vet came and gave them the checkup today, and I took them over there with their little bed and some of their toys that they're always were playing with, so they'd have some familiar smells, and loaded up bag of their food that they eat, so they'd have, they wouldn't be changing their food out. Look at those white claws on that little paw. But and then there's my little girl there, my little Guinevere. But yeah, it just broke my heart to drop them off. But they're really good people there. They found homes for the first 5 from back in July. So hopefully they'll have this batch done in just a week's time, and then it'll be time for these little guys. And there's Angel, my girl that started all this. But alrighty, but yeah, that's my little sweethearts there. All right, it is time to take this one to the dock. It's at the end of a long day here, and yeah, we had a good time with some gold. And like I said, it was a nice little surprise that showed up from T-Rep. Thank you again, brother, and thank you to Brian for finally keep trying to get that package out. So it made it, and it was fun, beautiful gold. So good time. And I guess for the foreseeable future, I'm going to be under the house next door, and I'm going to be tearing out the gold station in between. I don't know. We will definitely not be broadcasting from the station as it is today next week. So we'll see. Might even be doing a little live stream on some prospecting here, some real prospecting in Louisiana, because like I said, I was going to dig out where that stand is. So that's the closest thing I'm going to have to dig it out. Dirt on the, I'm looking out the window here. There's an awesome moon rising. Let's see if it will go blue. That is what's glowing there, bright white in the. Hold on here. There's my little guys. Yeah, that is our full moon rising over the bayou here tonight. I looked at the camera there, and I could see it through the door, through the window. So beautiful, calm night. Like I said, I'm sitting here and caught my, what the hell? It is a giant moon. So thank you all again so much for joining me on this episode of Bayou Gold Guy. I am Bayou Gold Guy, and as always, your support for the channel is so appreciated. Your likes, your subscriptions, your shares, your comments, our live chats. Congratulations again to our live chat winners from last week. We're going to be doing that again. Channel members, click on, well, I'm sure you get the notifications, but I'm going to be posting the comment video for the giveaway on there. And I believe that will, what are you, he has just been fidgeting and grunting and he just said, don't you? What is that about? What is? He's wondering where half of his little friends that he plays with disappeared too. I was telling him, that's right. Y'all just remember, you don't behave, all of a sudden you'll be gone like the little, you know. But they're all of course wonderful, well behaved little angels. So, but again, I really appreciate it. Like I said, 164 times you've joined me here for a look at some gold from the guy that is in the state that has absolutely no gold at all, and I thank you for that. As well as all those that stick with us on fighting for the basically the soul and the heart of our nation now, as we come into the final stretch, and it's, we can't take anything for granted. The numbers are inflated. Everything that they do about this manufactured candidate is fraud. So again, 100 million. We need 100 million votes out there. It's well doable. Like I said, I don't believe that Biden got more than really 40, 45 million at the most in real votes the last time. And the number of Trump votes, if he got 80, they destroyed, because we've seen them in gutters and in trailers and in ditches where they threw away Republican ballots and mail-in ballots that never got out. So, he probably lost easily another 5 or 10 million to nothing but fraud, if not more. So that puts it already there that he almost had 100 million the first election in 2020. So it's very realistic that, and then with the RFK flipping, coming over, again, it's, no one would have foreseen that a Kennedy would be the linchpin for a Republican victory over the Democrat Party. But yeah, he, like most of the rest of them, did not recognize this as a Democrat Party. They're a radical, coup that took over in 2020, and the result has been mayhem and a destroyed government and a destroyed country. And I don't know if you've seen that they've got the picture, they've got the video of the school buses driving down into Chicago, parking down the block, and then unloading, hundreds of Hajib, Nazi Islam terrorists, donning their garb, waving their Palestine banners, flags. These are $100 a piece flags. They've got hundreds of them out there. Again, who's paying for these school buses? What school did they contract these buses from? And where did they get the message out for all these hundreds of people to know to go over here and line up and get on these buses and wave these flags dressed in your hijabs and your towel head crap, your basic terrorist garb? And again, remember, once more, these are people that blow themselves up when they don't get what they want in the name of peace. So, Nazi Islam scum are basically running rampant throughout Chicago, and don't be surprised when the reality of who is there is on full display before this is over with a catastrophic event. Would be my prediction. And again, I'm not sure the over and under is still open. I just heard there's another 5 or 6 added to the death count. So we'll see. Chicago's just another weekend in Chicago. 100 shot and 20 killed. That's just a weekend, a holiday weekend in Chicago. So we'll see. But again, thank you all so much. Stay the course. Get out there for early voting. It's going to start literally in a matter of weeks. It's contrary to what we like to do as Republicans, but we cannot start this election down by millions of votes. So that's the other thing. I'll definitely be doing that, and we'll do a little video on that and maybe try to encourage other people to do the same, get out there and try to get a jump on this. So care. Peace out, my friends.